Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm Andy Murray from WhatCulture. And coming up this afternoon, Goldberg is very angry and he thinks you're an asshole. On top of that, we're going to talk about a rather scary bump that apparently went down at yesterday's NXT tapings.
Plus, could Samoa Joe be returning to the ring very soon? And an update on what the hell's happening with SummerSlam. I'm enjoying these afternoon newses. Good afternoons.
Good change of pace. Let's talk about Goldberg first of all. He did an interview last week with the American Monster Production YouTube channel. You might have heard about it. It's the one where he called Roman Reigns a joke. Well, upon digging into that further, it turns out that he actually called WWE fans assholes. Not all of them, just a few. I'll read the quote here. Bill said, if I go out and a crowd boos me, I don't take it personally and I feel as if I'm not worthy of doing anything. No offense, guys. There's a lot of asshole fans out there. There's a different generation of fans now. They want to be that guy who started that chant and the guy who made Goldberg spit at him or do whatever. And I'm not here to give them the time to do that. And the reality is they are paying me to put on a show for them. They're not paying for them to be part of the show, although people may refute that. Yeah, they're part of the show because they interact, but interacting in a negative, malicious way is very disrespectful. So, fair few bits and pieces to unpack there. It's a common narrative for a lot of modern wrestling stuff here. When you see beach balls and silly chants going around the place, particularly on the Raw after WrestleMania, you get all kinds of debates about the fans taking over, all this other stuff. So it's kind of understandable that a guy like Goldberg would go, screw those guys, they're a bunch of assholes. I hope he doesn't think that every single fan in the world is an asshole. It doesn't sound like he does, but strong words from the bald legend nonetheless.
Was that your flat buzzer going I heard in the background?
Somebody's
there,
at my door.
Goldberg's at your door, that's what I immediately thought of. Also, the irony of calling people assholes when he used to wear those sunglasses is very iffy. Remember when they used to do the things like the... I don't know what he's got going on. But, I mean, like you say, he's got kind of a point, but I'd always steer clear of going, you guys are arseholes.
Yeah.
It's one of those, isn't it, that he can kind of say what he wants, because will he come back? Will he not? Maybe not. And if he does come back and he's going to face Roman Reigns, he's going to probably have to be a heel?
Yeah.
Question mark. Look, I don't want to get wound up. If I got wound up by every comment a wrestler made, I'd never get anything done. But don't call the fans assholes.
Yeah, chill out, Goldberg. I like you, but chill out.
Exactly. Right, finally some good news potentially to report on here. MVP has been chatting with Newsweek and teased potentially a return of Samoa Joe to the ring. It's been sort of hinted at, of course, in recent weeks, with him threatening Seth Rollins and then being told that he's not allowed to lay his hands on Seth or Buddy Murphy, otherwise he'd be fired. Okay. Anyway, but MVP, yes, chatting with Newsweek, has teased Samoa Joe returns to the ring, saying, what I understand, old Samoa Joe is going to be back in action. He's not old, but he's going to be back in action. And over the years, Samoa Joe and I have been great friends, but we've never, ever faced each other. At this stage of my career, I think I feel a lot more confident facing him, knowing that I got Bobby and Shelton backing me up, but I also know that wouldn't faze Joe in the least. Of course, Joe hasn't been involved in any in-ring action since February, after he suffered a concussion, his second this year, at that Raw commercial shoot, which we assume, Andy, is that Must Be Monday bollocks that they've been doing. He's been with the announced team since April. I would love to see Samoa Joe just go, you know what, I'm not doing this commentary bollocks anymore. I've defended Tom Phillips enough, I'm just going to kill you. Not kill you, but, go after you, Seth Rollins. I'd love to see it, but once again, we should caveat that with only when he is ready and medically cleared.
Yeah, for sure. It's a natural feud to step into, the Seth Rollins thing, because they've already got beef. They've been getting in each other's business lately, so it makes a lot of sense. I'd love to see Samoa Joe back in the ring. The guy's had a rough 2020. He's had the 2 concussions, like you said. He had the wellness policy suspension. The guy's just had a crap little time of it all, man. It's been rubbish for him. But he's a great commentator. He's great at everything he does, really, particularly when it comes to the vocal arts of professional wrestling. One of the greatest talkers of all time. So, love to see Samoa Joe back in wrestling. Hope those concussions have cleared up. Hope to see him ready to go once again.
If they need some more baby faces, which they do on Monday Night Raw, he'd be ideal.
Exactly. Speaking of baby faces, he's not one anymore, but never mind. Johnny Gargano apparently took a very scary bump at the latest set of NXT TV tapings. This was at the Performance Center yesterday. The report comes to us via Post Wrestling's John Pollock, and you know what that means?
No bollocks, just Pollock. I've missed him.
There we go, Daddy. John Pollock, spoken to several people who were there. Apparently there was a bump while Johnny Gargano was wrestling Ridge Holland.
Say it right, Andy. Say it right. He was facing Ridge Bloody Holland.
Ridge Bloody Holland. He took a head knock. He took a scary landing, it's described as here. The match was halted. Triple H and Shawn Michaels and a bunch of other dudes got into the ring, presumably medics. I don't think that Triple H is a doctor. They checked Gargano out. They had to kind of put the thing on hold for a while, but Gargano was able to continue. He was said to be okay. They finished the match off. They finished it off. Gargano was apparently so just apologetic about the thing that he went round to everyone who was there and said, "I'm really sorry for holding the tapings up." Don't be sorry, Johnny. You're too goddamn nice, you silly sausage. You're a heel. Be more of a dick. But when Pollock followed up on it, he was told that Gargano was checked like immediately there and then, and he was fine, and he was checked again after the match, and he was apparently fine as well. So good to hear he wasn't hurt, but you don't like hearing stories like this regardless.
No, exactly. We often describe ourselves as ghouls for these sorts of things when it's controlled here at WhatCulture, but you don't want to hear anything like that, especially when you look at the tail of the tape between Ridge Bloody Holland and Johnny Gargano. Look, I've no doubt Ridge Holland is going to be an amazing success in NXT. Just look at him, a former rugby player turned wrestler who's been tearing up trees on NXT UK and now has obviously made the move to NXT. They're obviously competing for some of the final spots in that NXT North American Championship ladder match. I don't know why, because it's going to be Cameron Grimes who wins it. He's going straight to the moon, baby. But yeah, it's going to be with morbid fascination that I watch that match next week, where, of course, NXT, we can already pre-announce, have won the Wednesday Night War because AEW bottled it, moved to Saturday, or have had to move for NBA or whatever. I'm just joking, don't do comments. Right, let's wrap up by talking about SummerSlam. It's going down in like 10 days, a week on Sunday, basically. And WrestleVotes have come in with a bit of an update. Good news, bad news from them. The good news is SummerSlam will be not happening at the Performance Center. The bad news is that fans will not be in attendance. Look, we've talked about this loads in recent weeks and months, talking about it going down in Atlantic City, it going down on a boat, on a bloody beach. Who knew? But the biggest party of the summer is going to be just a closed set without any fans in attendance. PW Insider reporting that whilst it's not going to take place in Atlantic City, it will go down somewhere in Florida, just not at the Performance Center. So I suppose every cloud, Andy? Is that the best way of putting it?
Hold the show on a beach and I won't care a single jot about there not being fans there. Give me that weirdness. Give me that stupidity. Book it. If you do it in a room, if you do it in just a boring building or whatever, you're a coward, WWE man. That's who runs WWE. Just do it on the beach, please. Come on.
What's Lil Nate, the referee Lil Nate, what's his name? I always forget that. But you remember, I booked this when we were talking, me and Sid were talking about how to make SummerSlam good, basically, on
Charles
a podcast
Robinson.
a while back.
Yeah.
Charles Robinson, thank you. Remember his classic run from WrestleMania?
Yes.
Monty Python, Holy Grail. Have that, but except he's on a jet ski out at sea. You can just see him trying to get there for the pinfall. Just do some silly bollocks. It's SummerSlam. It's the biggest party of the summer, and we've got some mad matches to look forward to, as we've talked about on numerous occasions. But let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts, of course. You can also let us know your thoughts, Twitter questions for tomorrow morning on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there. Follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for, hey man, what you have for breakfast? Was it an egg?
Didn't expect that. I did not expect that. Follow me at Adam Wilborn. I may have produced my greatest editing work ever this afternoon. I did it on my lunch break. It's combining wrestling and the other greatest thing in the world, Pitbull. Check it out at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. But for now, this has been your After News. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.